Yeah, once they did the the ankle break, and I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, now Christopher Abbott's Jason. I'm like, I was
Yo,
like,
and Christopher Abbott must be like crazy strong from carrying sheep around on his back because he's like bodyguarding, like, and I will always love you, Barry Keegan, like carrying him down a mountain. I'm like, holy Jesus, man. Like, I don't know how tall Barry is, but I don't think he's like 100-pound little child.
you know what they say? There's always three sides to a story: yours, theirs, and the sheep's. We're talking movies. We're talking Bring Them Down, starring Christopher Abbott and Barry Keoghan. Directed by Chris Andrews. Chris, bring me the fucking heads.
To be honest, that was my quote too, because that is not only an important line, but like punchy line. So we'll stick with that. Hey, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of How'd You Like That Movie? We took a couple weeks off to deal with some stuff around the old office, and we're back.
We are back, baby. We are fucking back. We're back. Classic.
So, Scott, why don't you take us away on the TIFF film, Bring Them Down?
Yeah, well, you could have just said the quote in Gaelic. Like, you could have just done that.
Could have done what?
You just said it in Gaelic.
Oh, just say it in Gaelic. I
Yeah.
mean, speaking of, speaking in Gaelic, I'm shocked that the amount of Gaelic spoken by Christopher Abbott, who I assumed was Irish, and he is not. He's an American actor. I was like, wow, that is super impressive. He's one of the
Yeah.
few non-Irish actors actually on the set of this film. So
No, it was good.
much better than
Yeah,
his role as the Wolfman.
okay. Okay, first let's get into this. I just want to say what I really loved about this movie, Chris,
Is the
and
family aspect?
which it's the no, it's the old school take that, I didn't get to we don't get as much as we used to, but it's just that old school take where the title of the movie is quoted in nauseum in the
Oh,
film.
yes.
And not since the 1989 classic of Tango and Cash do I think I've heard the title of the movie more than I did in this one, whether it was in English or in Gaelic. And it was great to see that Chris Andrews brought this tradition back. Like, it was fun.
The only way for me to solve this crisis is to be Superman 4, The Quest for Peace.
Oh, that's why they call it that.
And I mean, they haven't done it for 500 years. For 500 years, we haven't brung them down. 500 years, we haven't brung them down. We haven't brought them down for how long? 500 years.
Hey, I'm bringing him down.
So what's your general takeaway of the film, other than the fact that you really love that the title was just like shoehorned in there, or sheephorned in there, I guess.
Yeah.
I love how we're being like so like jocular about this film, which it is like there's nothing funny or even joyful about this film, and we're just like joking around with it.
Yeah, like even from get-go, right? Like this is definitely a slow burn. And the thing that I did think was somewhat interesting is there's no real like protagonist or antaganist
Or either.
this.
They're both all of those things. They are both the
Yeah.
protagonist and antagonist at the same time.
Yeah. And it's just like kind of like a slice of life of an extremely exaggerated version of slice of life of these sheep farmers, where all of a sudden, like in 3 fucking days, all hell breaks loose, right? But it is like just such a slow burn that I'll be honest that at some points I was about to like double screen on it because I was
Mhm.
getting like it wasn't
keep like holding your interest.
Holding my interest until the midway point where all of a sudden it just switches the perspectives, right? And you get to technically watch the same movie but from the other person's perspective.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that. Okay, so first off, just the basic synopsis. You can kind of pick this up in the trailer. You kind of end up with this slice of this. I basically I don't because I don't want to give too much away. You get to see two warring sheep farms that are neighbors of each other, and that evolving into like extreme violence and extreme animal cruelty. And I do want to pick this up, regardless of what you take away from this review. If you really can't handle even like the fake animal violence, you're not gonna. This film's not gonna work for you. Like it's pretty brutal when it comes to animal stuff, including dogs, sheep. Like there's a lot of killing of animals in not a nice way. So just want to point that out as like a bit of a trigger warning or whatever. Okay, so normally I really debated about if I wanted to talk about this midpoint perspective switch, like, oh, are we giving anything away? But I almost think it does the film justice to let people know that you will start to understand things after the midpoint. Because like you, I was watching this and I'm like, okay, it's really well shot. The acting is great, but I'm like, I don't understand the motivations of these characters. They all seem very extreme. You feel like you don't know what's going on. And that is because they are purposely taking it from Michael's perspective, the character played by Christopher Abbott, right? And so if you're watching this, the reason I'm giving this to you so that you go, it's going to get better because you're going to get that information that fills it in. Because there was points where I was like, fuck this movie. Like it's good in the sense that it's like well produced, but it doesn't make any fucking sense. And I almost turned it off. And even when I was reading some of the negative comments from the audience on Rotten Tomatoes, you could see people being like, I watched half this movie. It didn't make any sense. Turned it off. And I was like, we should probably address this. So if you do decide to watch this film, you need to wait for that midpoint, because it will switch to the other farm's perspective, which is basically Barry Keoghan as Jack. You get to see why everything unfolds. Now, you may still make a decision that it got a little extreme, but it'll make a hell of a lot more sense. And I felt like once we were into that second POV, and they would keep re-anchoring you by showing you a scene you'd already seen to be like, this is where we are in the story. Boom. I did think they did a really good job of that, but it just got it got worse, as in like emotionally worse, because when you see what kicks all this thing off, you're like, wow, wow, what a fucking bunch of overreactions that led to just like utter violence and turmoil, you know?
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why, I was kind of joking around with the intro saying there's always two perspectives. But yeah, like you're kind of pull, like the first half you're pulled to think one thing, and then by the switch you are kind of left like, who is like who would you be rooting for, kind of thing, right? Because everything got so like dire that you're like, holy fuck, right? Like
The
like
mom.
that,
You know what? The person I'm rooting for is the mom who was the girlfriend who gets almost killed in the very beginning. She's the only one that's doing anything that even resembles like nice and sensible.
well, not really,
Including
right?
getting the fuck out of there.
Well, but that's the thing, that like in reality, I think that was Barry Keoghan's kind of trigger event, because he's technically a reflection of Christopher Abbott's character at the very opening scene, right?
Yes.
But you go to like kind of you kind of go with that thinking like, how far is it gonna go, right? Like, and the way she treated, I think because he was a reflection, the way she treated his, like telling him, breaking him, and how much different it was than Christopher Abbott's character got the news. I can see why you're kind of going for her, but in reality, like nobody, like even like she beat her poor husband, man. I felt bad for that guy. Like he brought her a gin and tonic. It wasn't his fault it spilt in the car.
How do you bring a gin and tonic from the bar? Like in a cup, like you're driving and you're like, I guess it would be the other hand, right? I think did the Irish drive on the other side too? Like do. Maybe
but
having a
it's
little
also
sip. See, if you
it's a
keep it in your mouth, you can't spill it.
it was a manual transmission too, right? So he had to put it in like, and that's the thing. I'm like, he thought about her. He didn't deserve to get his ass kicked, but he
So
was
this is Christopher Andrews. He also like wrote the screenplay, and he's one of the story writers. This is his first feature. He comes out of the camera department and he's done some DOP work, works on some TV shows and stuff. Not a bad first feature. Not a bad, not both the writing and the shooting and execution of the film. Like again, especially with that midpoint viewpoint switch, they did move it from originally, I guess it was set in England, and they moved it to Ireland just because of money. Ireland has really good tax credits, so they went there. And they were also supposed to have Paul Mescal in the role that Barry plays, right? So again, like managing to roll with the punches, and I mean, both Paul and Barry are fantastic actors, but so it's not bad to be like, oh, I had this guy and now I have this guy. So
you're like, yeah, like I would say it is kind of well done, but like we said earlier, um try to wait till that midpoint to see what it is, because
if
it
you leave
is
the film before that, you're gonna walk away with an incorrect view of the film. Now, if you watch the whole film and you don't like it, fair enough. But like you need that other perspective, because it does bring a lot of like all the important information, like the motivation and how everything happened. That happens in that second half. So you definitely have to hang into there. How did you feel about the running time? 105? Do you think it could have been shorter? I do feel, when he's like chasing Barry up the hill, felt like that could have. It's like one of those Frankenstein monster things where it's like, you're running and you're running and you're running. It's like, okay, guys, we get it. At some point, you're going to catch him. Let's just jump to that, please.
Oh, when he does the psych
and he
out,
even he also did the like, oh, I hurt my ankle thing.
Yeah.
Like, are people not able to like run without hurting their ankles? Like,
well,
I don't understand this.
I was gonna say, like, talking about that scene, the one scene, like the lead up to it, that I thought was funny, because I don't know if it was just like they just didn't edit it out kind of thing, is when like Keegan's character freaking goes and he starts going up the hill, and then you see Abbott run behind him, and then you see Keegan turn around, like jump up and down like this, and then like keep on going up. I was like, was he like telling the guy, like, come on, old man, like hurry up,
bring
like,
it,
just joking around with him? And they're like, oh, that's pretty funny, we'll just keep it in there. But yeah, I just started laughing at that. But yeah, once they did the ankle break, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm like, now Christopher Abbott's Jason. I'm like,
yo, and Christopher Abbott must be like crazy strong from carrying sheep around on his back, because he's like bodyguarding, like, and I will always love you, Barry Keoghan, like carrying him down a mountain. I'm like, holy Jesus, man. Like, I don't know how tall Barry is, but I don't think he's like 100-pound little child.
Well, also, I just want to tell you,
I don't know how much a sheep weighs either, right? So,
well, yeah, true. Like my guess is, there's something called movie magic, and it's probably like a fake sheep that he held on.
Yeah, but it's not a fake Barry.
Well, my
Barry.
my guess is you only see him carry him for like 35 seconds at the top of the hill, and then he's at the bottom of the hill. At no point do you actually see him walking down the hill with them. So again, quick editing. It was probably just like, okay, get off now, jump on. And then like,
Barry's gonna come out after with like a bunch of like body positive issues, because he's gonna be like, and he told me he couldn't carry me any longer, so I went on a starvation diet or something like that. So this is one of those films that's like polarized between like critics and the audience. So it's got a 90% from the critics and a 54 from the audience. So I did a quick, like I said, I did a bit of a look into like what the audience didn't like. And what I found was whatever we talked about, people who didn't watch the whole film. So I can get it. I can understand why you didn't like this film if you only watch half of it. The other one was the crazy violence of the animals. And I really can't get across how much animal violence is in here. So again, if that is something that I don't love that stuff, sometimes I just looked away. I was able to get through it, but it is pretty graphic. And the fact that there was like zero joy, like this was referred to as a less joyful version of the Banshees of Inisherin. Like, if you thought the Banshees of Inisherin had too much levity to it, do we not have the film for you?
Oh, it's like, instead of getting your fingers cut off, you're getting some sheep legs cut off.
Sheep legs, people getting shot, animals getting stabbed.
There's one thing I couldn't figure out. What was the sheep leg like? What was the sheep legs for?
I don't know, man. I tried to Google that too, and I could not get an answer because, like, I don't understand. Listen, if you're watching this and you understand sheep harvesting, please throw it in our comment section because I'd like to know, why would you cut the legs off the sheep and not kill the sheep? Like, why would you not just?
Well, that part, yeah, it was just showing that they were like the cousin was a dick kind of thing, right? Because he was pissed off at Abbott. But what I was saying is, like, what do you use? Like, you'd figure you'd be like fucking shaving the sheep for like wool or whatever, right? Like,
well, no,
that was more.
No. They eat the sheep. Like, I think they're eating the leg of the sheep. But again, I don't know why you wouldn't just take the whole animal. Again, the idea of chopping an animal's legs off without killing it first is awful. Like, so I don't know if this is a real thing or if this is like an invented thing for the film just to make it out to be that much more gruesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that was.
And every time I see a dog in a movie like this, I'm like, God damn it, this is not going to go well for the dog.
That was honest to God.
I hate that part, man. I hate that so much.
Yeah, my favorite scene that was like blocked and edited and fucking acted the best was that fucking pocket knife on the kitchen table.
Yes.
And then the mom's like just tells Keegan's like, I told you to put this away, and then all of a sudden Abbott's realization.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just
the audience. Well, yes, Abbott's realization, but then also the audience realization of the product that's in the bag. Yeah. you got the wrong stuff from the store. Well, and I was wondering, I love that scene too because they let it sit long enough. You can see Keegan sees the knife, and you know that he's going to try and like get it. And so you're waiting. Again, this film has great tension and suspense. And again, with the score and everything too, it's depressing. It's so depressing. If you're having a good day, throw this puppy on. You won't be having a good day. But yeah, watching him kind of spot that knife and then waiting for him to get it. Sorry, we're kind of spoiling something, but it is a great scene. You'll love it when you see it. And you're wondering how it's going to unfold. And then with that one sentence from the mom, boom, like everything just shifts. And there's a total realizing, and because now Barry knows that he knows, that Michael knows, the mom doesn't know what's going on. And then it's just like, you're like, oh my God, where's this going to go from here? And then when the mom makes him take care of Michael and his dad, well, she goes to the doctor, which Ray is played by Colm Meaney, who, if you watch Star Trek The Next Generation or Deep Space Nine, he's like the Chief O'Brien, I think.
Yeah, Hell on Wheels. He was awesome on that too.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So now the guy that like basically asked for the head of the family that did stuff bad to them, plus the son who now knows, and there's Barry. And his mom leaves and he's like, Mom, please. And she's like, you fucking stay here. It's like, I'm gonna get my head chopped off.
And that's why he ran. Like, that's why he runs.
He did run. Right. I mean, they're also really bad with shotguns. I don't understand how bad you know how bad you have to be to not kill somebody with a shotgun and then allow that same person to take said shotgun off of you.
Did I hit anything?
And then I love when the mom comes out with basically like a sniping rifle, though. It's got a scope on it and everything. So,
no.
Is there anything else? Like I said, do you recommend the film?
That's the thing. Like, I do think this film is a niche audience because not that many people want to be as depressed as you're gonna be, like just fucking down on humanity after watching this, and you're just like never want to go to Ireland because I know now I never want to fucking go because it's just hills and sheep.
Yeah, and if I like knock someone's pint over, they're gonna now have like, I have vendetta. And you're like, what? I'm sorry, I'll buy you another drink.
But yeah, I'll say it was well done. But I do think you have to be in the right mind space to watch this. And I went in blind, so I was not in the right mind space. And I'm like, why the fuck did Chris pick this movie? I'm like, Chris always picks the fucking shittiest movies. I'm like, I could have been sitting here watching fucking Novocaine or Drop
or Snow White or something like that.
I could have been watching fucking Minecraft. I'm like, come on. And I'm like, then at the end, I'm like, okay. I'm like, this is one of Chris's indie darlings. Can't wait for him to talk about this movie at the end of the year.
Yeah, it's like so if you actually you could double feature this with the woman with the needle. But make sure you don't. I'm not even gonna make the kind of like self-harm joke. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if you double featured those two films, you'd just be like, hello, darkness, my old friend. Like, there's some serious depression there going on. And you watch this one, and then you're like, throw on the black and white. And actually, they're both movie. Both of these are available on the Woman in the Needle that we reviewed and this film are on Mubi. And I think Mubi might have even been part of production on The Woman with the Needle. So like, what Mubi just trying to suck the dollars and the life out of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Mubi had some produced this as well. They produced this one. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I think if you're like a film person, you like indie stuff, you're gonna want to watch this. You can watch it on Mubi. I think they're running their 7-day trial, so you can just watch this and kind of watch it for free. If you don't want to do that, it is available on Amazon Prime Video. Sorry, they call it Prime Video now, and Apple. So would you have wanted to see this in the theater?
No,
not at all.
No. Like even from the trailer, it wasn't like one that I would think would have been. Yeah, I would not have enjoyed it in the theater personally.
So you know what I think I would have enjoyed a bit watching it in the theater is if there was going to be any. Sometimes when you come out of the theater and you're kind of talking with the other audience members as you come out, I think it would have been cool to be like, what'd you think? Like that was an interesting film, right? So
yeah,
or like to see if anybody got up and left.
Well, maybe, but I do think the scene we're talking about would have resulted in like an audience gasp kind of thing with the knife when the mom said it. I think the whole audience like in the theater would have been like like realizing, but yeah, like I'm happy watching it the way I watched it. And yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. Tune in next week when we discuss Falling Down. And
if you want to be brought down, bring them down. We'll do so. Do you got anything else? And then I'm gonna finish off this with a decent quote, I think. So if you got anything else,
no, that was like I said, I liked how the title is just referenced extremely a lot, and I like how it's it has the double meaning of what this whole movie was about.
Oh wow, actually it wasn't until you just said that I'm like, absolutely, yes. And I think they say that in the other way at near the end, right? When with the nephew, right?
What do you mean?
Well, because there's bring them down as in and bring the sheep down, but isn't it the other nephew that's like, you got to bring them down now. That like yes,
you got to take them down, bring them down, so they lose the money, right? Not you.
That's right. All right. So David Hughes from Time Out had this to say: "Bring Them Down is as bleak and chilly as a winter's night in the Irish hinterland, and every bit as bracing."
And that is our wrap for the day. Please like and subscribe to this podcast. Tell your friends. If you want to get a hold of us, reach us at the www.howdyoulikethatmovie.com. You're looking good, man. Like, how much have you lost? Like, how much weight have you lost?
Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing? It's actually it's if you use a really tight camera angle, it's like one of those long mirrors, right? Just like sucks everything in.
No, man. No, it looks good. Like, listen, like I'll be honest, like yesterday, I looked at myself in the mirror and I'm like, man, I got me some good titties. I was like, I really need to hit the gym now. I gotta go back on the gym. I'm like, because I'm like, I really just like, now I know what who's the singer? Touch Yourself. Like, now I know who that is, because man, these things got bounce.
Scott's got to go back on the 1990s Kate Moss diet, the cocaine and cigarettes diet. Suck yourself right out. Anyway, that had nothing to do with the film. Yeah, tune in next week when actually I believe we're doing Sinners, so you can check that next week.
Production by Rod Shaver, Vader Monkey Productions.